What's up, guys? Kamerad Leonidas here, and today we're gonna go with a Civilization 6 leader, strategy, and tier. So in this video I will be talking about the rank of all the leaders, 1 through 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, and a good strategy to go with their unique unit, leader bonus, and civilization bonus. So to start off, we have Catherine de' Medici. Her flying squadron, 1 level of diplomatic visibility greater than normal for every civilization that she meets, and the capacity to build an extra spy once the castle's technology has been researched. It's not the best. I mean, it's very good if you're going for a diplomatic victory of any kind, such as cultural, religious. It's very good with war, too, as long as you do your research before the war. The 20% production toward medieval, Renaissance, and industrial era wonders, and the tourism from those wonders are doubled, or tourism from wonders of any era is doubled. Those are very good for cultural victories, because wonders do produce a high amount of culture. Now, the Guard Imperial are very good on Pangea, and that's basically it. Just the combat strength, the plus 10 combat strength gets destroyed when there's tons of continents. Now, if you're playing on a small map, that's genius, because there's only 2 continents, I believe, on small maps. The Chateau, very good for culture, because you get 1 culture and 2 culture if built next to a wonder, and you get another gold for every luxury resource it's next to. But the downside is it can only be built adjacent to rivers. That's nice. I mean, it doesn't give too much, but once you stack those up, it's very nice for culture. I would rate this a 4, only because the reason it has a 4 is because of the Grand Tour and the Chateau and the Flying Squadron. The Guard Imperial kind of brings it down. If it had a different unit, it might have been better. Moving on to Cleopatra, the Mediterranean's Bride. Very good for trade routes. Again, something you have to do peaceful with other civs to get good bonuses from those trade routes. Get a lot of bonuses from the trade routes. Itiru, 50% production towards districts and wonders if placed next to a river. Very good, especially if your pantheon is district adjacent to rivers. That's very nice. Another thing, that floodplains do not block the placement of districts and wonders, which is good because a few wonders and districts can't be placed on floodplains. The Mariano chariot archers are really good. I've played Cleopatra before, and those give a huge bonus. The only weird thing is that they rank up to crossbowmen. I feel like they should actually rank up to horsemen, but I guess that's a different thing. I really like the 4 movement when starting in open terrains. Those are very nice. The Sphinx. Oh my gosh, this is a lifesaver. So easy to get that early faith if you don't get Stonehenge. The plus 1 faith and plus 1 culture are automatic, and then you get plus 2 faith next to wonders. The only problem is they can't be adjacent to each other. You cannot build adjacent Sphinx, so it won't stack up like that. I would give this a 3, mainly because a lot of it seems to have to do with it's just a lot of building your civilization up. There's nothing really with war. The Mariano chariot archer doesn't come early enough, and it doesn't come late enough to where it doesn't really do anything. A lot of other people already have their unique unit by the time you have your Mariano chariot archer. Moving on to Frederick Barbarossa, the Holy Roman Emperor, get the additional military slot. That's golden. I felt like that should have been the only thing, because the plus 7 combat strength for attacking city-states doesn't do anything, because city-states are already so bad with the AI going on right now. The free imperial cities is very nice, except with the winter update, now it doesn't, that makes it so much more better, because your unique district, such as the Hansa or the Parthenon, you don't get that for free anymore if it's your unique district. So free imperial cities has been upped another 1 just because you get 1 more district than usual exceeding the normal population limit. The U-boat comes way too late in the game. Not good at all. Not even going to acknowledge it. I never do when I play Germany. The Hansa, very good. Half the time to build, and it's better production than the industrial district. Really like it. I'm going to rate him a 5 because just he's a very good militaristic civilization. Gandhi, the Satyagraha, is good. I mean, it's good, but it's not the best. It's just you can't be at war with them. I mean, which is good if you're Gandhi, but Gandhi seems to go to war with people because it makes other people unhappy. Plus, the opposing civilizations make the war weariness double. So that going to war with Gandhi is like you have to be a quick war, or it's gone. The Dharma ability, you receive follower belief bonuses in a city from each religion that has at least one follower. That is very good, especially if a bunch of apostles fight over one city. It's golden. The Varu, an Indian classical era unique unit that replaces the horseman, and it's really good, very powerful. I believe it has 36 combat strength, is the highest of its time, and spearmen don't do anything to it. It has to be surrounded by spearmen for anything to work, or get a bunch of archers and find a choke point to defeat the Varu. Otherwise, the Varu is pretty hard to beat. The Stepwell doesn't do a lot. One food, one housing, and one faith. And then the one food if adjacent to a farm. So, unless you build a holy site, surround it with stepwells and farms, it doesn't do good enough. I would rate this a 3, mainly because of the Varu and the Satyagraha ability. Gilgamesh, Adventures of Enkidu, very good. May declare war on anyone at war with their allies without war monitor penalties. And when at war with a common foe, they and their allies share pillage rewards and share combat experience gains if within 5 tiles. That's not the best. I mean, it's very good later on when war monitoring penalties count a lot. That is very good. When you capture a barbarian outpost, you receive a tribal village reward in addition to the usual gold and pay half the usual cost to levy city-state units. This is nice if there's a lot of city-states and a lot of barbarians. If there's no barbarians in the game, Epic Quest kind of already defeats itself, because I find myself a lot of times not have to levy city-states, because a lot of people really want those bonus from the city-states. The War Card. Sumerian's unique ancient era unit. It's stronger than every other starting unit, even the Aztecs, Eagle Warriors, and there's no penalties against anti-cavalry units. The 4 movement if it starts on open terrain. This is really good. The only problem is it takes a long time to build. I think on quick, which is 33% faster than standard, it takes 9 turns to build from your starting city. This is talking no other buildings. So getting that war cart up, getting army of war carts, being able to go raid another civ, that doesn't look like it's going to be able to happen unless you can produce a lot of cities and get a lot of gold back from the epic quests. The Ziggurat, very nice. The 2 science and 1 culture, if next to a river. I really like this, especially because when you're Gilgamesh, you seem to start next to at least 2 rivers. At least with my experience of Gilgamesh, I've spawned next to 2 rivers almost every time. Very nice. I would rate this civ a 3, mainly because the Ziggurat and the War Cart, the other 2 don't really bring a lot to the table. Next is Gorgo of Greece. This is one of the 2 leaders of Greece. Thermopylae. Combat victories provide culture equal to 50% of the combat strength of the defeating unit. This is nice. I definitely do like it a lot more than Pericles' ability. Plato's Republic, 1 extra wildcard policy slot in any government, which is really nice. I do like having that extra wildcard policy slot. The Hoplite, very good ancient era unit, plus 10 combat strength if there's at least 1 adjacent Hoplite unit. And I believe it stacks up. I haven't witnessed the winter update yet, but I believe that stacks up if you have an army of hoplites next to each other. Acropolis, not the Parthenon, the Acropolis, my bad. I called it the Parthenon earlier. The Acropolis is a very good, unique district, brings a lot of culture, and it's so nice to have early on. I would rate this a 4, mainly because everything's good. The only problem I do have with it is it's very focused on culture. It's just the culture tree. I've played with Gorgo and I've dominated the culture tree to where I have democracy so early that it's too useful, and it feels overpowering. I would give it a 5. it's just, I'm really caught up with myself because I want to give it a 4, but I also want to give it a 5. But I think for now we're going to give it a 5. I'm going to change my mind and give it a 5 for now. Harald Hardrada of Norway, the Thunderbolt of the North, allows coastal raiding for all naval melee units. Very nice, except it doesn't do too much because not a lot of AI and people spawn right next to the ocean unless they're going as Harald Hardrada or Hojo Takamone. Nobody really focuses on getting that early ocean start unless it's on accident. The Nar ability, units gain the ability to enter ocean tiles after researching the shipbuilding technology. That's nice. Naval melee units heal in neutral territory, which is amazing, especially if they're halfway across the world. And units ignore additional movement costs from embarking and disembarking. The Nar ability is what builds up Norway. The Berserker, which comes in the medieval era, gives 4 movement if it starts in enemy territory, and plus 7 combat strength when attacking, but minus 7 combat strength when defending. It's a toss-up. You definitely have to have them for attacking and coastal raiding. The Viking launch ship, which is an ancient era naval unit, replaces the galley and can pillage enemy coastal lands and capture civilians if adjacent to its coastal raiding ability, and plus 4 movement while in coastal waters. This is very nice. Very, very nice. And the Stave Church, a building unique to Norway, required to train apostles. It replaces the temple. That's all it does. And you get an additional standard adjacency bonus from woods. So Norway, I would give, this is definitely a 3, because if you're on Pangea, this doesn't really work out for you a lot. Just the Berserker and Viking launch ship and the Nar ability, like just everything about this is a C civ. So I would give it a 3. Hojo Takamone, the Divine Wind, land units get 5 combat strength in land tiles adjacent to coast, and naval units receive 5 combat strength in shallow water tiles. Plus, you could build encampment, holy site, and theater square districts in half the time. Now, see, the first part of Divine Wind doesn't matter that much. The second part, encampment, holy site, theater square, half the time. That is amazing. That is, this whole thing is about districts. The Meiji Restoration, all districts receive an additional standard adjacency bonus for being next to another district. That just doubles upon Divine Wind. If you can get an encampment, holy site, theater square, campus all up so soon, and then you can build all your districts basically next to each other, that's amazing. The Samurai, unique medieval unit to Japan. It's a melee unit and doesn't suffer combat penalties from being damaged. That's really nice. I think in the medieval era it'll do a lot. And the Electronics Factory, a building unique to Japan, and you get plus 4 production to all cities within 6 tiles. And after researching the electricity technology, it provides 4 culture to the city. Again, definitely Hojo Takamone is a culture and production civ. Not just because of the Electronics Factory, but mainly because, look at that, theater square, half the time. Just half the time districts out of encampment, holy site, and theater square. That's godlike. I'm going to give him a 3, though, only because he doesn't have very good defense or offense. The Samurai is the only thing he gets, plus the Divine Wind. It just doesn't add up enough, especially if you're on Pangea again. Now, we move on to Montezuma of the Aztecs. He's a DLC for anybody who pre-ordered Civilization 6 and will be ready 90 days after the game came out. I believe that happens sometime this month in January. Now, the gifts for Tlatoani is really nice because you get luxury resources in your territory that provide an amenity to 2 extra cities, and military units get 1 combat strength for each different luxury resource improved in Aztec land. That's really nice, especially early on with your Eagle Warriors. Now, Legend of the 5 Suns, spend builder charges to complete 20% of the original district cost. That is really nice. It's kind of like a play off of China's Wonder for builders. I like this a lot better, though, mainly because it goes to district and wonders, because wonders kind of take a district, unless they are fixing it in the winter update patch. The Eagle Warrior, it replaces the warrior and has a chance to capture other civilizations' military units by turning them into builders. That's really nice, especially when you start off and just get Eagle Warriors and go raid another civ or a city-state, and you get all their warriors and turn them into builders. Really nice, really, really nice. The Tlachti, Tlachtli, my bad, a building unique to the Aztecs, and it provides amenity into faith and a great general point. Really nice for your entertainment district. I would rate this a 4, mainly because it's an early civ. It's definitely an early civ, but then the luxury resources and Tlachtli come back later, mid-game. It definitely just has that early on aggressive type civ. Now, Movember and Nzinga. His religious convert, he can't build holy site districts, and he can't found great prophets or religions, but he does gain all beliefs of any religion that has established itself as a majority in his cities. And he receives an apostle each time he finishes a Mabanza or Theater Square district of that city's majority religion. Now, this is really nice, especially if you have Catholic city, Protestant city, Eastern Orthodox city, Islam city. It's really nice because then what I do as Movember and Nzinga, I just send them back to their own civilizations because you're just helping somebody win. The last thing you want to do is help somebody win. So literally just get rid of them. Don't use them or just send them to a remote island nobody's been to. Nikisi is really nice. You get plus 2 food, plus 2 production, and plus 4 gold from each relic, artifact, and sculpture great work of art, in addition to the usual culture. That itself is amazing. If you get relics early on, or even later in the game, it's nice. And then you receive double great writer, great artist, great musician, and great merchant points, and the palace has 5 slots for 5 great words. This itself should already let you know, this is a culture-based civ and population-based. Now, the Nagao Mabeba, you get a classical area unit that replaces a swordman, and it gets plus 5 combat strength when defending against ranged attacks. That's really good, especially for a classical swordsman, and can move and see through woods and rainforests. That's really nice, especially when you're in a thick area of woods and rainforest and you can see an opponent's army about to march on through. You can set up your defenses so quickly. The Mabanza, it replaces the neighborhood and you can get it, I believe, in the classical or medieval era, and it's really nice because it always has 5 housing, no matter what. And it has plus 2 food and plus 4 gold, regardless of where it was put. Now, this is really nice. I would rate this a 5 because it's just so OP. I won multiple times as Movember and Nzinga in, I believe, the industrial era, just because of culture. The culture on this thing is crazy. Moving on to Pedro II of Brazil. The magnanimous, after recruiting or patronizing a great person, 20% is refunded, which is really nice. Not too good, but it's nice. The Amazon doesn't really do anything, but you get 1 adjacency bonus for campus, commercial hub, and holy site and theater districts. And Rainforest Towers provide 1 housing for neighborhoods built adjacent to them. Again, not too good, but, good enough. The Minas Gerais comes too late in the game, not even going to talk about it. Nobody ever uses it. Nobody, as Brazil, ever lasts long enough to use it, too. The Street Carnival, which is really nice. It replaces the entertainment complex, and it provides 2 amenities. And it also unlocks the Carnaval project, which grants an additional amenity when underway, and a variety of great people points once completed, which is very nice, especially when you complete it, and somebody's about to take the final profit, and then boom, now you have the great profit because you completed the Carnaval project. Pericles, the second leader of Greece, surrounded by glory, gives plus 5% culture per city-state you are a suzerain of, which is not very good. And everything else is the same. I would rate this. This is the 4 of Greece. Sparta was the 5. Pericles is the 4. Because his leader ability is not very good. Now, Peter the Great of Russia. A lot of people say this is one of the best. And I say, no, you are wrong. This is the best civ. Especially for advanced players. Everything about him is good. The Lavra, which is a unique holy site district, is nice. Plus, your border grows by 1 tile each time a great person is expended in a city with a Lavra. Mother Russia, you get, I believe it's 9 extra territory tiles every time you found a city, and you get faith and production from Tundra. Now, you receive science or culture from trade routes as long as they are 3 technologies or civets ahead. Normally, as Russia, this doesn't happen. You are so far ahead because of that extra land grab in the lava that nobody gets to be ahead of you. The Cossack, which is an industrial unit that replaces cavalry, and it's stronger than the cavalry. It gains 5 combat strength with fighting in or adjacent to its land, like Russia's land, and can move after attacking if it movement points remain. That is, if it remains. I rate this a 5. I'd rate it a 6 if I can, but 5 is the best. Philip II. Inquisitors can remove hearsay 1 extra time. Combat units have a bonus of +4 combat strength against players of other religions. Nice, especially when you combine it with the Conquistadors. Treasure Fleet is, again, it's just internal trade routes. Plus you get to form fleets and armadas earlier. Definitely able to go conquer other continents, especially with the Conquistador and El Escorial. Very religious and conquer, domination type victory. The Conquistador is a Spanish Renaissance unit and replaces the musketman. It gets +10 combat strength when there's a missionary, inquisitor, or apostle in the same hex. And if this unit captures a city or is adjacent to a city when it is captured, the city automatically adopts the Conquistador player's religion as the dominant religion. This is very good if you're going for a religious victory. Capture somebody's city, give it back to them, go conquer a different city, give it back to them. Oh my gosh, it integrates into their civ so much, especially if you're so close to winning that religious victory. And then the mission can only be built on, I believe it can be built on anything, but it needs to be built on a different continent to get anything good. You get 2 faith if it's on another continent, and 1 science if it's next to a campus district. And this is really nice. I would rate this, I would give it a 5. No, I would give it a 4. 4. It's a 4. Mainly because it's all about that domination religion game. There's not too much else. It's not very... Okay, moving on to Qin Shi Huang of China. The first emperor is really nice. Builder charges complete 50% of the wonder cost, and builders receive a 4th charge upon their 3. They get an extra one. Now, the dynastic circle doesn't really do anything. It gives you 10% extra for Eurekas and inspirations. Not very good. Doesn't do anything. Crouching Tiger, I've noticed, does do a lot, though, and the Chinese unique medieval era unit. It's ranged, and it has a range of 1. That's the only problem. But it does have high combat strength. Honestly, it doesn't do a super ton, but it does enough, especially when it's combined with the Great Wall. Now, the Great Wall provides bonuses to defense and bonus to gold if adjacent to other parts of the Great Wall. And then additional culture and tourism as you advance through the technology tree for adjacent segments, but it must be built along the borders of your empire. This is a 3. This civ does not provide enough. The Great Wall and Crouching Tiger cannot do enough as we thought it would be able to. Saladin of Arabia. The righteousness of the faith. The worship building can be purchased by any other civ, and it's 1/10 of the usual faith. This is really nice, especially because that gives you 10% to science, faith, and culture output for your Arabian cities. If other people buy this, you automatically get plus 10%. The last prophet is really nice because you don't have to focus on faith early on, and you automatically get the last prophet. But you get 1 science for each foreign city following Arabia's religion. So it's like you can focus on religion, and then have the last prophet be a waste, or you can focus on science and culture, or even in military more, and then boom, you get the last prophet. Now, a Mamluk is a very nice medieval era unit. It is almost the same as a Cossack, but it heals at the end of every turn instead of getting that land bonus. Now, the Madrasa, it's a building unique to Arabia, and it gets bonus faith equal to the adjacency bonus of the campus district. This is the 1/10 of the religion worship building that you get. Teddy Roosevelt of America. Now, America and England both have this kind of automatically set up to win. I mean, you have to look at that. Like, you have to scroll down for her. Like, her and Teddy, or not even Teddy, but just her, she has a scroll bar. That's how you know she is stacked. But Teddy Roosevelt is also stacked. 2 unique units, a building, and then on top of that, he still has 2 bonuses. So the P-51 Mustang is a modern-era air unit, and it gains 5 attack against fighter aircraft and 2 flight range, and it gains 50% experience than normal. The Rough Rider is a modern-era unit when Teddy Roosevelt is the leader, which is kind of hinting that they will have another American leader. The Culture is earned from kills on their capital's continent, and plus 10 combat strength when fighting on hills. It does have a lower maintenance cost. The Film Studio, a building unique to America, 100% tourism pressure from this city towards other civilizations in the modern era. Units receive a plus 5 combat strength on their home continent and plus 1 appeal to all tiles in a city with a national park. Gained a Rough Rider unique unit when they researched the rifling technology. This, again, it's a stack. It's gotta be a 5. You can't unstack it. Tamiris of Scythia. Killer of Cyrus, all units receive plus 5 combat strength when attacking wounded units, and when they eliminate a unit, they heal up to 50 points. Amazing. People of the Steppe or Steppe receive a second light cavalry unit or Soccer Horse Archer each time you train a light cavalry unit or Soccer Horse Archer. That in itself is amazing, because that goes all the way on until you get helicopters. Helicopters are like cavalry, people. You can get double helicopters. The Soccer Horse Archer is a classical era unit, and it gets ranged with a range of 1, and it has 4 movement. This itself, if you watch my Let's Play of Scythia, you will see how good these things are. The Kurgan, plus 1 faith and plus 1 gold, and then another faith for each adjacent pasture, but it cannot be built on hills. They can be built adjacent to each other, which is nice. I rate this a 4, mainly because you would think the Soccer Horse Archer would be a range of 2, but it does not, and Soccer Horse Archers cannot conquer cities. Building. The All Roads Lead to Rome is very good, though. For every city you get, found or conquer it, you get a trading post and a road to your capital if it's in trade route range. And your trade routes earn plus 1 gold for passing your trading posts in your own cities. So if you rack that up, that's very nice. The Legion, a Roman unique classical era unit that replaces swordsmen and can build a Roman fort. I like that. Very nice. The Bath, that is what I do not like. It doesn't do anything. It literally is the same thing, but you get 1 amenity. That's terrible. I would rather not have the 1 amenity and get extra housing, or just get complete amenities instead of housing. It doesn't do enough. It's a 4. Victoria of England. You get to all found or conquered cities on a continent other than your home continent receive a free melee unit, and you gain the Red Coat unit when the military science technology is researched. Again, this is one of those civs that gets a double unit. Now, the British Museum kind of throws you off because each archaeological museum holds 6 artifacts instead of 3 and can support 2 archaeologists at once, and archaeological museums are automatically themed when they have 6 artifacts. It basically just doubles the amount of artifacts you can hold in a museum. The Red Coat, which is an industrial era unit, when Victoria is their leader, you get plus 10 combat strength when fighting on a continent other than that of your capitals, and there is no disembark cost. Pretty good, but I think it comes in a little late for crossing the oceans. Sea Dog, which is an English unique Renaissance era naval unit that replaces the privateer. It can't capture enemy ships and cannot be seen unless adjacent to it. This is the best thing ever. I'm almost done my thing. No, back up. I'm doing my video. And the Royal Navy Dockyard. This is very nice because you get plus 2 gold built on other continents and 1 movement for all naval units built in the Dockyard, and you get 1 trade route capacity, which is very nice. It also replaces the harbor district and removes a movement penalty for barking and disbarking to and from this tile. But it's really nice. There's no denying it. It's amazing. This is one of those where you have to rate it a 5. So again, this has been Kamerad Leonidas. Please leave a like and subscribe if you liked the video. I will come back with another video tomorrow. Thank you and good night.